Subtitle C: The Accelerated Programs to Prevent Weapons of Mass Destruction, Proliferation of Terrorism. 15 United States Code for 2921, Section 831, Statement of Policy and Fund. It shall be the policy of the United States, consistent with 9/11 Commission recommendations, to eliminate obstacles, time, obligation, actually executing the full amount of appropriated funds for the threat recommendation proliferation programs in accordance with accelerated strengthening progress prevention of weapons of mass destruction, proliferation, and terrorism. Such policy implemented with concrete measures such as those described in titles, including the removal, modification, statutory limits, execution, and funds, expansion, strengthening, proliferation, security initiative, establishing the youth office in the United States, coordinated with the prevention of weapons of mass destruction, proliferation, terrorism, under Subtitle D, the establishment of the Commission Prevention of Mass Destruction, Proliferation, Terrorism, under Subtitle E. As a result, Congress intends that any funds authorized appropriated progressive in prevention of the world weapons of mass destruction, proliferation, terrorism under the subtitle will be executed in timely manner. Section 3821, Authorization Appropriation, Department of Defense Cooperative Threat Reduction Program. A, the fiscal year of 2008. In general, subject to the paragraph 2, there are authorized appropriated Department of Defense Cooperative Threat Reduction Programs, such sums are as may be necessary for the fiscal year of 2008 of the following programs, purposes. A, the chemical weapons of destruction at Russia. B, the biological weapons of proliferation prevention. C, acceleration of expansion strengthening cooperative threat reduction program activities. 2, limitations of the sum appropriated persistent paragraph 1 and may not expended amounts authorized to appropriated national defense activities or National Defense Authorization Acts of fiscal year of 2008. When enacted by the date of an enactment of this act, the Department of Defense Cooperation Threat Reduction Program for the purposes for B, this future for future years, the sense of Congress in the fiscal year of 2008, the future fiscal years of the President, such as acceleration, expanded funding, cooperative threat reduction program, administrative Department of Defense. Such efforts include beginning of the enactment of the act of this act and additional commitments of the Russian Federation, other partner nations, with the recommending by the 9/11 Commission. Section 833, Authorization Appropriation of the Department of Energy Programs to Prevent Weapons of Mass Destruction, Proliferation of Terrorism. 50 United States Code 2923. In general, subsection B, the authorized appropriated Department of Energy National Nuclear Security Administration Defense of nuclear non-proliferation. Such sums may be necessary for the fiscal year of 2008 to accelerate, expand, and strengthen the following programs to prevent weapons of mass destruction, proliferation of terrorism. 1, the global threat reduction information. 2, the non-proliferation international security program. 3, the international materials protection control and accounting program. 4, the non-proliferation verification research and development program. B, the limitation sum appropriated pursuant subsection A may not be exceeded to the amounts of authorized appropriated in any National Defense Authorization Act for the fiscal year of 2008, whether enacted by before or and the date of enactment of this act. The Department of Energy National Nuclear Security Administration and the Defense of Nuclear Non-Proliferation for such purposes. Subtitle D, Office of the United States of Coordinated Prevention of Weapons of Mass Destruction, Proliferation of Terrorism. 50 United States Code 2931, 121, Stat 498, Public Law 11053, August 3rd, 2007. Section 841. Section 1841, Office of the United States Coordinated with the Prevention of Weapons of Mass Destruction, Proliferation, and Terrorism. The established with the Executive Office of the President of the United States to be known as the Office of the United States Coordinated of the Prevention of Weapons of Mass Destruction, Proliferation, and Terrorism. In section referred to as the Office Officers. 1, all United States of the Coordinator, the head of the Office of the United States Coordinator, Prevention of Weapons of Mass Destruction, Proliferation, and Terrorism. In section referred to as the Coordinator, Deputy United States Coordinator. There shall be a Deputy United States Coordinator of the Prevention of Weapons of Mass Destruction, Proliferation, and Terrorism. This section shall be referred to as Deputy of Coordinator with this section Deputy Coordinator who shall coordinate, carry out responsibility coordinated under the subtitle B. So acting coordinator, absence of the coordinator during any vacancy of the office of coordinator. 3, appointment. A coordinator or deputy coordinator shall be appointed by the President, but within advice of the consent of the Senate, shall be responsibility full-time basis of duties responsibility described in section In this section 4 limitation, no person shall coordinate. Deputy coordinator will serve in a position of federal government. 5 agencies of Congress establish the office of coordinator. Executive office of president shall be construed with affecting the assess of Congress or committees of the House of the either house. A. Information, documentation, studies, possessions, and conduct by the direction of the coordinator. B. Personnel office of the coordinator. C. The duties of the responsibility of the coordinator shall include 1. Serving the principal advisories of the president on all matters relating to the prevention of weapons of mass destruction, proliferation, and terrorism. 2. Formulating comprehensive, well-coordinated United States strategy, policy, and preventing WMD proliferation, terrorism, including A. The measurable milestone targets and whether with departments, agencies, and can be held accountable. B. Identification gaps and duplication, inefficiencies in existing activities, initiatives, programs, and steps necessary to overcome the obstacles. C. The planning preserves any nuclear security investment of the United States have been made in Russia, former Soviet Union, and other countries. D. Prioritize plans to accelerate, strengthening, and expanding the scope of existing initiative programs, whether identification, vulnerability, sites, material, and risk corresponding actions necessary to eliminate such vulnerability. E. The non-initiative initiatives programs to address the emerging challenges, strengthening the United States capabilities, including programs to attract and retaining top scientists, engineering, strengthening the capabilities of the United States national laboratories. 5. The Coordinated United States Activities Initiative Program relating to the prevention of WMD proliferation, terrorism, including Department of Entry, Department of Defense, Department of State, Department of Homeland Security, including the Proliferation Security Initiative of the G8 Global Partnership, G8 Global Partnership around spread of the weapons, materials of weapons of mass destruction, weapons and mass materials of mass destruction. United Nations Security Council Resolution 1540 of the Global Initiative to Combat Nuclear Terrorism. G. The plans to strengthen the United States commitments to international regimes, significant improvement cooperative with other countries relating to prevention WMD proliferation, terrorism, particular emphasis on work in international communities, develop laws, international legal regime, and universal jurisdiction to enable the state world and interdictment persecute smugglers. WMD material recommended 9/11 Commission Act. H. Identification action necessary to implementation recommendation commission on prevention weapons of mass destruction proliferation terrorism established in subtitle E of the title 3 leading interagency coordination in the United States implementation strategy policy described in this section 4 the conduct oversight evaluation accelerated strengthened implementation initiatives programs of prevention WMD proliferation terrorism relevant pro-government and development agencies. 5 oversighting development comprehensive coordinated project budget programs, initiatives to prevent WMD proliferation and terrorism, ensuring that such budget adequately reflects the priority, challenges, and effective execution carrying out the appropriate budgetary authorities. The staff coordinated with the appoint employee, fixed compensation, terminate such personnel as necessary to enable coordinated perform her duties under this title. 121 Stat 500 Public Law 11053 August 3rd 2007. 2. The direct concurrence of Secretary of the Department or the head of the agency department the reassignment with the federal government and personal employees department agencies or in order to implement the United States policy with regarding the prevention of weapons of mass destruction, proliferation, terrorism, use of administrative personnel, reimbursement with available service equipment, personnel, facility, and federal, state, local agencies. 4. The procure of service experts and consultant in accordance with 3109 Title 5 United States Code relating to the implementation of federal services at the rate of compensation individual not exceeding to the daily equivalent rate of pay payable to the position of level 4 of the executive schedule under section 5315 of Title 5 of the United States Code. Use of males in the same manner of the department of the agency executive branch. E. The consultant with the commission of the office of the coordinator shall regulatory consult the implementation recommendation of the commission of the prevention of weapons of mass destruction, proliferation, and terrorism established under subtitle E of the Title F of the annual strategical plan for fiscal year 2009. Each fiscal year thereafter, the coordinator shall submit to Congress at the same time submission of the budget fiscal year of 2000 under the Title 31 of the United States Code a report of the strategy policy development pursuant to subsection C2 together the recommendation of the coordinator with the legislation coordinator appropriate with respect to such strategy policy implementations of the office of the coordinator. G. The participation of national security Council and Homeland Security Council. Section 101 of the National Security Act of 1947 to 50 United States Code is amended in one redesignated last subsection added an I by subsection 301 Public Law 105-292 and subsection C and 2 by adding the following: 1. Participation coordinator prevention of weapon mass destruction, proliferation, and terrorism. The United States coordinator preventing weapons of mass destruction, proliferation, and terrorism coordinators. Absence of deputy in the United States coordinator may, in the performance of the coordinator as principal advisory to the president, all matters relating to the prevention of weapons of mass destruction, proliferation, and terrorism, subject to the direction of the president, and to participate in meeting the National Security Council and Homeland Security Council. 50 United States Code 2932, the Section 842, Sense of Congress in the United States of Russia Cooperation, Coordination of Prevention of Weapons of Mass Destruction, Proliferation, and Terrorism. The sense of Congress in the practical president should engage the president in Russian federal and discussion purposes of the goals of establishment. The Office of the United States coordinate with the prevention of weapons of mass destruction and terrorism. This section referred to as the office, the authorities and responsibilities of the United States coordinator to prevent the weapons of mass destruction, proliferation, and terrorism. In this section referred to the United States coordinator the importance of the strong cooperation between the United States coordinator and the senior officials of Russian Federation on having authority and responsibility of preventing weapons of mass destruction, proliferation, terrorism, common searcher of the United States coordinator and with whom the United States coordinator shall coordinate planning and implementation activities with the outside Russian Federation having the purpose of prevention of weapons of mass destruction, proliferation, and terrorism. Subtitle E, Commission on Prevention of Weapons of Mass Destruction, Proliferation, and Terrorism. Section 851, Establishment of Commission on Prevention of Weapons of Mass Destruction, Proliferation, and Terrorism. The established Commission of the Prevention of Weapons of Mass Destruction, Proliferation, and Terrorism is subtitle referred to as the Commission. It's 852. The purpose of the Commission. The purpose of the Commission is 1. Assess current activities, initiatives, and programs to prevent weapons of mass destruction, proliferation, and terrorism. 2. Provide clear and comprehensive study and concrete recommendations such activities, initiatives, programs. 1. B. In particular, Commission shall pay particular attention to activities, initiative, programs to secure all nuclear weapons use materials around the world, and significantly accelerate, expand, strength of the urgent bases in the United States and international efforts to prevent, counter, spread nuclear weapons capabilities, related equipment, material, technology, terrorism, of terrorists and state of concern. Section 853, Composition of Commission. Members of the Commission shall be composed of 9 members, of whom 1 member shall be appointed of the leader, son of the Democratic Party, majority or minority, as the leader, as the case may be, with a concurrence with the leader of House of Representatives, Democratic Party, major or the minority party, as the case may be, who shall serve as the chairman of the Commission. 2 members shall be appointed as senior member of the Senate leadership of the Democratic Party. 2 members shall be appointed as senior member of the senior leadership of the Republican Party. 4. 2 members shall be appointed of the senior member of the leadership of the House of Representatives, Democratic Party. 2 members shall be appointed the member of the leadership of the House of Representatives, Republican Party. B. The qualification in the sense of Congress, individual appointed commission shall be predominantly a United States citizen, significantly experience of non-proliferation of or arms control field. Deadline of appointment. All members of the Commission shall be appointed within 90 days of the enactment of this Act. D. Initial meeting. The Commission shall meet the beginning of operation of the Commission as soon as practicable. Quorum and vacancies. After initial meeting of the Commission shall meet the call of chairman or a majority of the members. 6 members of the Commission shall constitute the quorum. Any vacancy of the Commission shall not affect the powers and shall be filled with the same manner original and no appointment was made. Section 1854, Responsibility of the Commission. A. In general, the Commission shall address 1. The roles and mission of relevant government department, agencies, including offices of the United States Coordinated Prevention of Weapons of Mass Destruction, Proliferation, Terrorism, established subpart D. 2. The interagency cooperation. 2. The United States commitments, international regimes, cooperations with other countries, and 4. The threat of weapons of mass destruction, proliferation, terrorism, United States in the interests of allies, including the threat posed in black market networks and the effective response of the United States and international community to such threats. Follow Baker-Coulter report. The Commission shall be also reassess where necessary, updated, expended on the conclusion recommendations of the report. A report card on the Department of Engineering Energy's non-proliferation programs with Russia in January 1st, January 2001, also known as the Baker-Cutler Report and Implementation of the Recommendations, Section 1855, Powers of Commission. A, hearings and evidence. The Commission on the authority of Commission committee member, therefore, may be the purpose of carrying subtitle holding the hearings and state and act at such time based the testimony provides and the evidence administering such oaths to the commission or such a designated committee, subcommittee, or designated member of determined advisable. B, contract. The commission may distribute the extent such amounts of provided appropriation acts and entering the contracts to enable commission to discharge the duties under the subtitle. C, staff of the commission. A, the appointment and compensation of the chairman of the commission in accordance with the rules are graded by the commission and may appoint the fixed compensation director of the personnel may be necessary and enable the commission to carry out the functions without regard to provision Title 5 of the United States Code governing the appointments of competitive services with regard to provision Chapter 51 and Subchapter 3 of the Chapter 53 of the subtitle or such titles relating to the classification general schedule pay rates except for the no rate pay fixed under the subsection may exceed the equivalent pay as for a subposition of level 5's executive schedule under section 5316 of the Title 5 United States Code. 2, personnel of federal employees. A, in general, the executive director, any employee of the commission shall employ under section 2105 Title 5 United States Code for the purpose of chapter 63, 81, 83, 84, 85, 87, 88, it's 87, 89, and 90 of this title. B, members of commission, some paragraph A shall be constructed to apply the members of the commission. 3, the details and the and any federal government employee may be detailed commission with a reimbursement from the commission. Such detailee shall retain the rights, status, privileges of his or her regular employment without interruption. 4, the consultant services. The commission may procure the services of an expert consultant in accordance with section 3109 Title 5 United States Code. Rates of the not exceed the daily rate of period occupying position level 4 of the executive schedule under section 5315 of the Title 5 United States Code. Emphasis of security clearance. Emphasis shall be made to the higher employees retaining containers detailees of the activity security clearance. D, information federal and agency. In general, the commission authorization to be secured directly to the executive department, bureau, or agency, or board, or commission office, independent establishment, instrumentally of the government. Information suggestion estimate statistic purposes. Subtitle H, department, bureau, agency, board, commission office, independent established instrumentally shall extend authorizedly furnish such information suggesting estimate statistic directly to the commission upon request made by the chairman of the subcommittee mediated by the major commission or any member designated in the majority of the commission. 2, the recipient handling and storage and dissemination. Information shall be received, handled, and stored and disseminated by the members of the commission staff consistent with applicable statutes, regulation, and executive orders. E, assistant from federal agencies, General Service Administration. The administration of the General Service shall provide commissions other reimbursement bases and administrative support, other service and performance commission function, other department agencies. Addition with assistant with the paragraph 1 departments of the assistant United States provide commissions of such services, funds, staffs, other support services as they are determined advisable as they are authorized by law. F, gifts. The commission may accept, use, and dispose of gifts, and donations of the service or property. G, the Postal Service Commission may use the United States mails in the same manner under the same conditions department agencies in the United States mail. Section 856, not applicable. Federal Advisory Committee. In general, the Federal Advisory Committee Act 5 United States Code App shall not apply to the commission. Public meetings and releasing a public version of the reports. The commission shall hold the public hearings, meetings to the extent appropriate, and 2, release public versions of the report required in section 857. Public hearings and public hearings of the commission shall be conducted in a manner consistent with the protection of information provided to develop commission as required applicable state regulation, executive order. Section 1857 report no later than 100 days after the appointment of the commission. The commission shall submit to the President, Congress, a final report containing the such finding, conclusion, recommendations, corrective measures that have agreed to majority commission members. Section 1858, termination. In general, the Commission and all authorities and subtitles shall terminate 60 days after the day which final report is submitted in 1857. Administrative activities before the termination. The Commission may use 60 days before the referred to subsection A. The purpose concluding the activities, including the providing testimony committees in Congress concerning the report designating the final report. Section 859. The funding in general, the authorized appropriate such necessary purposes of the activities of the Commission under this title. D. The determination availability amounts available for the Commission under subsection A shall remain available under the determination of the Commission. And on to Title 19.